I don't know why. I don't know why that intro makes me laugh every single time. I played it with an automaton because I am a beast at all instruments. Hello and welcome to episode number 2 of Stop Crying Poser, the interactive live podcast starring me. But not only starring me, look at all these names right here. We got some other people. Let's do some shoutouts real quick. Cassidy, Sloth Frog, 10x90, Mulchy, Seth, Cassidy again, Sharky, Genie, Jank Life, Seshawn, and more. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble for 40 straight minutes or so, and I hope you guys appreciate me taking time out of my busy day of playing Mario, skateboarding, beating women, and editing YouTube videos. I'm here to entertain you. I am at your service all the time. Let's go ahead and start this podcast the way we start all podcasts, with some local Las Vegas news. This one's going to be a doozy. Boom. Look at that transition. By the way, guys, I'm happy to be here. I'm having a great Friday, and I hope you guys are having or did have a great weekend, depending on if you're watching this on Twitch Live or watching later on YouTube. Report. Man made homophobic remark before attacking victim in Las Vegas. It's exactly what it sounds like. Let's go ahead and read this. A man arrested in connection with a hate crime at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. By the way, UNLV has a great 10-stair handrail. So if you're a skateboarder and you're ever visiting Las Vegas, go to where the homophobic slurs are if you want to skate the good handrails. This man has been taken into custody after reportedly using homophobic slurs against a man and beating him at a Las Vegas Walgreens. I once watched a guy on Fremont Street get stabbed outside of a Walgreens, and I don't know if it's Las Vegas or maybe it's Walgreens causing all these problems with all their expensive bath bombs and 24-hour pharmacies, just ruining the society of Las Vegas. According to a police report, on March 8th, the victim was walking towards a Walgreens on Flamingo Road when observed a man? When he observed a man. Help me, Fox 5 Las Vegas, god damn it! When he observed a man identified as Gino Flynn walking behind him, the victim stopped and waited for Flynn to pass. Ooh, it's getting creepy. When he did, Flynn got close to him and said, and I quote, "I don't like gays." The victim went into Walgreens and was attacked by Flynn. I'm laughing. This is not funny. Okay, it's not a funny story. But the number one, the way it's written is funny. Okay, because I feel like he would have used the F word, the double G-O-T word, rather than saying, "I don't like gays." That just seems like a funny way to say it. The victim said he was hit 20 to 30 times in the head and upper body, and that Finn had a rock in his fist during the assault. Wow. First off, just the whole, "I don't like gays." I feel like that's a hilarious thing to say before a fight. I feel like it would have been more hilarious if there was not a gay person involved. And actually, you know what? Nowhere in this story does it say that the victim was gay. So that actually would make it a funny story. Just like, "I don't like gays." And then somebody's like, "Well, good thing I'm not gay." And it's like, "I don't care." So at the end of these news stories, I always like to give you guys a little piece of advice. Number 1, stay away from Walgreens. Number 2, great handrails at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And number 3, don't hang out with dudes who don't like gays, okay? Gays are the coolest people on earth. Their bars are way more fun than straight bars. I think we can all agree on that. And I'm pretty sure they make more money than straight people. And for me, that is going to be the definition of if you're a more valuable human being than me. You make more money because you're more important. At the end of the day, you know what, guys? Gays are more important than me. And that's what really matters. Today we have plenty of interesting topics to cover other than Walgreens, rocks, and gays. Let me give you guys a little preview. Skating over the age of 40. Is it possible, or should you kill yourself? More at 11. The progression of skateboarding via social media. Ooh, got that one via Instagram. Let's talk about El Toro. in a little bit. The famous skate spot that has been killed in the past couple months. We're going to talk about relationships too, maybe, guys. Right? I'm going to go over what I like to call the #1 relationship pillar, and I'm going to ask you guys what you think is the most important pillar of any relationship. But that's going to come later. Let's also talk about when skateboarding is over. When do you know when enough is enough? Right? Like UFC fighters, they get knocked out 4, 5, 6 times, and then they get back on the horse, and they just keep getting knocked out, a la BJ Penn. We're going to find out if skateboarding has the same issues. Again, let's shout out everybody in the chat. Sloth Frog, Joda, Myth, You Won't Remember, Skater Chan, Lyocell, Gabe, Daniel, Matches, Daniel, Quellheiser, Sharky, Genie, Sishon, Stream Elements, Indie Grab, and more. Again, I appreciate all you guys being here. Let's jump right into it today. Skateboarding over the age of 40. It's funny, this was actually suggested by my friend Larry on Instagram, and I'm going to his birthday party probably tomorrow. I think he's 48. I don't know if that's a joke. He doesn't look like he's 48, but he does do pressure flips and front shoves like a 48-year-old. He was probably being sarcastic, but let's talk about it. I feel like maybe there was a time in human history where we didn't live past 40, right? All the Black Plague was around, and everyone was getting chlamydia, and just all the muskets were killing each other, and everyone's catching the flu, bird flu, the pig flu, the anthrax, and all that other stuff. And now we have all these vaccines and all these drugs and stuff that we can give everybody to make them, #1, not only live longer, but perform longer. We have fighters in the UFC who are like 50. I think Randy Couture fought until he was about 92, and he was still the champion. Why shouldn't that apply to skateboarding? You see guys like Eric Costin still killing it, and I feel like he's been 24 for 16 years. Day One is another great example. Day One is like a fine wine. If you leave it out too long, it turns into vinegar, and then it's really strong on your mouth. That's what would happen to Day One if we left him out for too long and tried to drink him. But also, he's also ageless because he's been doing these crazy tricks, and he seems to only get better. Then again, I don't want to be the guy that calls Day One a prop skater, because cheese and crackers rub me the wrong way. If you're going to be over here just turning flat bars upside down and building your own special obstacles, then I can't really compare you to anybody else. But I've seen Day One skate in real life, and he is as consistent as anyone, which means I've barely ever seen him fall. I saw him at Woodward skating, and he was pretty amazing. Indie Grab says, don't drink Day One, man. I don't drink Day Ones until after 5 p.m. Okay, it's 5 p.m. somewhere. Little Day One daiquiri really gets me going. Reynolds turns 40 this year, Daniel G says. That's pretty crazy, too, because only, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, didn't this guy varial heel flip Hollywood 16? There's no reason skateboarders can't last past 40, but there is one thing I've noticed about a lot of these skateboarders is they're not doing drugs, they're not drinking alcohol, or at least they're not binge drinking, and a lot of them are really taking their diet and health serious. And I feel like that just goes hand in hand with maybe taking your career serious. Like, you really like skateboarding, right? Yeah, I really like skateboarding. Oh, you want to keep doing it for 10 years? Yeah, I do. Okay, well, you have to cut down on drinking. I don't like skateboarding that much. I feel like that's how a lot of people do it. And if you look at me, dude, I binge drink every single fucking day. And I do feel like it affects me. Somebody left a comment the other day. They said, what a coincidence. Ninja stops drinking for 3 months, learns all these awesome flat bar tricks. 3 months? What am I, crazy? 3 weeks, excuse me. Oh, somebody watching this just had a mild seizure. What? He didn't stop drinking for 3 months. I watch him on stream every single day. He's drunk. Like a goddamn degenerate. I'm also a degenerate gambler, sports bettor, and chicken wing eater. So I'll likely, my skating career is going to be over probably by the end of the day, the way I'm doing this. A lot of skateboarders are also doing really nice therapies for their bodies and warming up, right? Back in the day, I can remember going to the skate park, and there was no stretching out my legs. Oh, no. That was for weenies. There was no bending down. There was no hip circles. There was none of that going on. It was just, hey, get to the park, hit the handrail, don't be a pussy, and then punch some kid in the face. Or get punched in the face. Either way, you're getting your breakfast today, son. This guy's getting his Jaeger. So, I also have friends, personal friends. My friend Dave is like 42, and he rips in pools harder than anyone I know. Harder than Asian John, and Asian John is a transition skater. Harder than me, and I'm good at skating. I feel like I can skate just about anything. But, yeah, when I see it live, it's one thing to say, well, Tony Hawk's 106 and he can still 900. Yeah, I get it. But I don't hang out with Tony Hawk on a weekly basis. I hang out with my friend Dave. He's 42, and he rips every single fucking time I see him. And he does great tattoos. He did this Mario tattoo on my side. If you guys haven't seen it, he also did this tattoo on my belly. Great tattoo artist. If you guys are in Las Vegas, definitely check out Dave DeLuna, DeLunatic Tattoos, or check out Clean Rock 1. Also, very talented tattoo artist. Steve, what are you talking about? I saw your stretch routine the other day live. Yeah, I really do stretch. I don't do that anymore. I was talking about back in the day. Back in the day when I got to the skate park. Now, oh, I get out there. I stretch out the knees. I stretch out my spaghetti scrimps and steaks. I stretch out my groin. I stretch out my cheese area. It's right between the butthole and the ball sack. It's where I marinate my fine cheeses for late night. Oh, Jank Life says Richie won't make it to 40. Yeah, he doesn't really take his health very serious at all. You're talking about a guy that barely even eats. Slothfrog says, if you look at Jamie Thomas' Instagram, he eats loads of vegan stuff. You know what? I did recently say, hey, I want to lose a couple pounds so that I can improve my endurance for American Ninja Warrior. And everyone said, plant-based diet, plant-based diet, plant-based diet. And I was just like, listen, guys, I said I wanted to improve my diet. I didn't say I wanted to go pussy, okay? Number one, if I started eating nothing but green shit, you know what would happen? Number one, I would just poop out liquid all day. Number two, I would just be angry all the time, which is why vegans always are so weird. That's why they're always so like, well, does it have vegan shit? Does it have vegan place? Can we find a vegan place? It's like, whoa, chill. Number one, lower your voice. I get it. You're vegan. You don't have to yell about it. Well, I haven't had meat in 3 years. Okay, I get it. The part of your brain that develops happiness is shrinking by the day. I understand. Okay? There's no reason to get angry about it. If I did that, I would be angry all the time. Look at me now. Have you guys seen me play Mario? Have you guys seen me skateboard on a bad day? I go fucking crazy. I'm just angry at everything. Can you imagine doubling that or tripling that with an all plant-based diet? Oh, man. Yeah, right, dude. Whenever I'm stressed out, you know what I do? I eat junk food. I'm a stress eater. It's a miracle I'm not 500 pounds. Good thing my Mario athletic skills keep me skinny. But I couldn't do that stuff. Maybe one day. But I don't feel like I could go vegan because then I would lose an outlet. One of my outlets to keep me happy in life is, let's say, a big steak, right? The other day, I was bummed out over something. I went out, immediately bought a T-bone. I bought two because they were on sale. It was a Wahoo deal at Kroger, Smith's. It's a grocery store chain. They have these deals called Wahoo deals. It's a little sticker on the steak that says Wahoo. And got myself a Wahoo T-bone. Threw it on the grill, flipped it a couple times. I showed everyone in the Discord because I cannot eat food without showing everyone around me. I don't know what my problem is. I'm the opposite of a vegan. You know how people brag about being vegan? I go on Discord and Instagram and brag about not being vegan. And I'm also happy all the time, right? Is that a coincidence? Me eating meat, delicious steak with a little bit of butter, maybe some thyme, maybe light seasoning, mainly just salt, pepper. Flip once, get the grill marks going this direction. Maybe some instant mashed potatoes. Ugh, instant mashed potatoes. Gross. No, it tastes the same as regular mashed potatoes. Quit being a pussy. And then maybe, if I'm really going crazy, then maybe put some broccoli on there. I put the broccoli on there, number one, because it's good for you. But then sometimes, you know, every sunny day needs like a cloudy, angry cloud. And that's what the broccoli is. You get all this happiness, and you go, you know what? I think I'm going too far. I'm getting too happy right here. Let's put some broccoli next to the steak. And then you're leveling out, right? It's like getting your meth and your heroin, and you just get it just right, and you're really digging it. I think that's the way to do it. Not meth and heroin, but steak and something that's mildly like healthy, but not really on the great side. But if you really want to be badass, you know what you can do? You can cook the, oh God, we're about to get hungry now. Forget Stop Crying Poser. It's going to be called Stop Eating Fat Boy. You can cook the broccoli with bacon grease. Oh, shit. Then you just shut it down. It's over. Close the doors. Lock the windows. Lock it down. We're eating all day. We're getting fat. And we're going to be happy. No one ever eats a steak and just goes, oh, I didn't like that. Unless you're like a middle-aged woman. You know what? You can still skateboard over 40, but women over 40, I feel like they don't have a good time at restaurants because they're always pissed off about something. Send the soup back. Send the fucking steak back. I said medium rare. This is medium. What? Just eat it. Shut the fuck up. It's fucking Outback. You're not at Morton's Steakhouse. You're not at Gordon Ramsay's Kobe beef fucking Emporium. You're at Outback. You're paying $14 for a steak that's being cooked by a 17-year-old. Fucking get over it. Jesus Christ. What are we talking about? How did we get here? Let's try to get back on topic. Skating over 40. I do think it's possible. I think we can skate well beyond 40. And with modern advances in science and technology, there's no reason why you can't skateboard till you're like 60 or 70. Plus, here's what you do. You start to get older, your kick flips don't flip as good. Flip. They don't move as good. Your ankle gets a little locked up. Guess what? There's an option because everything in life has balance. You can become a transition skater. You can get good at mini ramps. You can build your own mini ramp. Hey, by the time you're 40, you probably got a kid or two. Get your little slave kid over here. Hey, Brian! Brian? The fuck is your name again? Get over here. Bring the hammer. No, the other, the fucking, the hammer. The one with the, it looks like a T. Oh my God, I know you're 3 years old. You know what a T looks like, you dumb. Get the fuck over here. All right, build this ramp according to these plans, you little fuck. That's what you do. You yell at your kid, get your kid to build you a ramp, then you can share something with your kid in skateboarding. And isn't that what life's all about? Sharing the happy moments. You, your 40-year-old, old wrinkly balls, your kid who doesn't know what a hammer is because he's a stupid millennial, and then some steak. And a nice sunny day, right? With some broccoli and maybe a dog named Koopa. I really want to get a dog and I want to name him Koopa. I've been looking on Craigslist for dogs, but I feel like anyone who puts their dog on Craigslist probably has a shitty dog. I feel like the way to get dogs has got to be through somebody you know. What are we talking about? Speaking of skateboarding, someone asked me today on Instagram, what do I think about the progression of skateboarding via social media? I feel like this is a double-edged sword. I want to hear your guys' thoughts a little bit here. I feel like back in the day, if you wanted to know what was going on in skateboarding, you either had to go to a skate shop, look at a magazine, look at the tricks, or go to a skate shop or get a CCS and go through that, go call them on the phone or maybe go to the website, order a skate video. It'd be a VHS tape. It gets to your house after a week. You get to watch it, and then bow. Now you know what's going on in skateboarding. That only took 1 week. Now you get these guys, Clive Dixon, Nolly Nose Blunt's El Toro, and I find out about it within 6 seconds of him rolling away. He's not even bending upward yet. He's still in his squat position. My phone blows up and says, hey, crazy trick alert. And I feel like that's a really good thing in skateboarding because motivation builds competition, and competition builds progression, right? I just made up those words right now, but that sounded really fucking good. I don't even know what I said. Somebody make that into a quote book. I feel like competition really builds progression. And the more competitive we can get, it doesn't necessarily have to be like angry competition, right? It can be like, oh, good job, dude. You just did Nolly Nose Blunt. I'm going for Nolly Back Nose Blunt. Oh, good luck, dude. I hope he fucking eats shit. And then they high five, and then he goes and tries it. I feel like that's great for skateboarding, but I also feel like there's another side to the sword. And you guys are going to know what I'm going to say here. No complies. All this weird skateboarding for attention. Now, I'm sort of that guy too, right? I gained most of my internet notoriety from making a skate video where I sang the words. But I feel like that also sort of encapsulated my personality because I really don't give a fuck about skateboarding. Somewhere in that video part, I even mentioned, no fun is allowed. Skateboarding is so motherfucking serious now. You know what? I want to do this without contradicting myself, but it's hard to do, right? Is my skateboarding that much different? And some weird with some weird guy with rainbow glasses and a rainbow outfit and high heels dancing around and throwing his skateboard into the air with his eyes closed and then jumping on it and then dancing and fucking saying and then fucking he gets 1 million likes, and then Clive Dixon Nolly nose blunts El Toro and he gets 15. I don't know. Or what about us making skateboarding easier, right? I feel like no complies have made skateboarding easier. I get it. Skateboarding used to be sort of underground, and I like the commercialization of skateboarding. But what I don't like is making skateboarding so inclusive that literally anyone can do it. My favorite part about skateboarding is when you look at someone and they can do a kickflip or they can do a tray flip, you know, as a skateboarder, game recognized game, you can see that this person went through a struggle to learn those tricks, right? You guys have this weird little bond now. You're both skateboarders. You both have this little brotherhood because learning how to kickflip doesn't happen in a day. It takes a while. Maybe some people are just gifted or lucky or something like that. But you know what the fuck I'm saying. So you have this little idea. Sort of like when you meet somebody who's like a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. You say, oh shit, you trained for like 9 months to a year and a half to get this. You're pretty badass, you know, respect. So when you see someone kickflipping and shit like that, say, okay, respect. But when you see some kid dressed in women's clothes and doing a bunch of no complies, you say to yourself, you could literally learn how to no comply while sitting down. You could sit down and learn how to no comply. Why? Because your foot's going to touch the ground. Oh, if you almost lose your balance, guess what? We've turned skateboarding into scootering. We've turned skateboarding into rollerblading. You can fall, but you don't have to actually fall down. You don't actually have to scrape your elbow. You don't have to get dirty. I mean, you certainly don't want to get that bright pink bra dirty if you're a man skateboarding in 2018. No one wants that to happen. And I feel like that's partially because of social media. It's sort of become a one-up contest. Can I one-up you? Maybe not in skill, but I can definitely one-up you in weirdness. And we can look all the way back, right, to Richie Jackson. I was always like a Richie Jackson like hater, right? Or at least my internet character was. Oh, Richie Jackson sucks. But if you look at the tricks Richie Jackson's doing, they all of them require skill. They all require balance. They all require speed. And then if you look now at some of these other guys who have sort of taken his model for standing out and they've sort of twisted it into more entertaining, less skateboarding. You know what? I'll have the skateboard platter, but just take the skateboarding out of it. Give me more entertainment and weirdness. Which I've experienced this on my YouTube. Some of my most popular videos I can't even watch because they're so obnoxious and annoying that I don't think they're funny. There's one where I made chili dogs. I made chili dogs and I screamed at a camera. And that chili dog video gets more views than me learning a perfect front blunt varial flip on a flat bar, which is a pretty cool trick. It's a trick you don't see very much. And if you consider yourself a real skateboarder, you'd be like, whoa, what a cool fucking trick. But even these real skateboarders, they tell me every day, oh, I really like that video where you cooked chili dogs and screamed. So I'm torn. Do I want to be a weirdo? Do I want to dress weird and dance around and act stupid? Or do I want to stay core to my skateboarding roots? Well, if you stay core, number one, the competition's much higher. I'm not out here fucking skating El Toro. But number two, you know, you may lose... You may lose the notoriety, which isn't that the point of social media right now in skateboarding? I like the idea that people can use their phone, they can film anything, anytime. I love that. I like the idea that people can do crazy fucking tricks and they can show the world instantaneously. Is that a word, instantaneously? Why would they say instantaneously? Why not just say instantly? Why is instantaneously? What is aniously? Why did we just add aniously? Wait, the Lee's already in there, instantly. So it's just anus. What are we doing with the English language these days? You know what? I'm not worried about the progression of skateboarding via social media. I'm wondering why we're just adding the word anus to words. All right? I want to answer the tough questions here in 2018. Yeah, let's talk more about that later. Let's talk about relationships, shall we? You guys down to do that? Oh, before we do that, let's do today's trivia question. You guys ready? Winner of this trivia question gets a free sticker pack delivered to them if they live in the United States. If you live outside the United States, I'm sure you're going to bitch and cry about it, but you're literally doing nothing to receive this other than answering a question that's very easily Googleable. So get your fingers ready, because the first one who gets this question right wins. Two-part question. Both answers are going to be numbers. I'm going to say this really fast so that nobody gets it too early. Because you know in Jeopardy, they're always like, oh, this Spanish sailor was first, and then beep, 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 beep. I don't know what the answer. I don't know Spanish sailors. Columbus, maybe? I don't fucking know, dude. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. How many levels are in Mario World, and how many exits are in the game Super Mario World? Two-part answer, and go. I've been playing a lot of Mario World. I've been playing, most recently, a game called Super Gracie World and a game called Super Chefy World, which are fan-made hacks that are super freaking difficult. But I love being challenged, right? I love the idea that I can play a game that most people would look at and they would say, this is impossible. No one could ever beat this. And then I come in, pull out my big Steve nuts, show them how it's done. You guys know you are allowed to Google this shit. I don't know how we're getting such horrible answers. Every single one of you guys is wrong. Seth says 12 and 12. Still Stream says 8 and 5. Go Skate says 12. Mulchy says 4,000. What the hell? Oh, Skater Chen is the winner. 72 worlds with 96 different exits. If you guys didn't know the game, sometimes you're navigating through the worlds. It's the one with Yoshi, this game, Super Mario World. And you get to a level. For some reason, the level's red. That red level means that level has 2 different exits. So if you want to completely beat the game, you have to beat those red levels twice. So, Skater Chen, talk to me on Facebook. He Googles for a living. All you guys had to do was hit Google. In fact, I don't have the screen still up. I Googled it. Google it. I Googled it right before. Because I didn't know the answer to the first one. I knew there was 96 exits, but I did not know there were 72 worlds. Or levels. Worlds, levels, Mario World, whatever. Let's talk about relationships, guys. I've been dating a girl lately. Think she might be the one. Psych. But we haven't really discussed relationships lately, and I wanted to break down what I think is the #1 pillar for all relationships. And I want to hear your guys. So before I get too much into it, I want to hear your guys' issue. If you could break down a relationship into one rule that would hopefully keep a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a dog and a goat together, how could you break this down into one simple rule? And I'll go first. For me, it comes down to, don't ever fucking make me look stupid. And I'll try my best to never fucking make you look stupid. Right? I guess it really comes down to do to other people what you want them to do to you. But I feel like my way of saying it's a little more poetic. Skater Chan says one rule, communication. Yeah, I think that's true too. But I feel like communication, you can still fuck up. Right? Sharky Genie knew that would be the answer. Yes, I always quote this all the time. So all of you guys who are regular twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle viewers, you guys have heard me rant about this before. But I'm going to read some of your guys. 775 Anthony Mike says, don't be a bitch. Well, some women can't help it, and some men can't help it either, for some reason. I don't know if you guys have seen, like, dudes on Facebook acting like chicks, but my Facebook is cluttered with men acting like women. I don't understand it at all. Jenk Life says, don't be clingy. Let me skate and see my friends. Jealousy is a killer. I agree. And I feel like that's also a part of don't fucking make me look stupid. If I'm with my friends or you're calling me on the phone and I'm hanging out with my friends and I get, you always with them. You're blah, blah, blah. You spend more time with me. Nah, 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 nah. I feel like that's making me look stupid. I feel like if there was a camera around me, if I was just on this live TV show and I'm getting bitched at by a chick, I feel like I look stupid. You're trying to make me look stupid. You're making yourself look stupid, but that's between you and you. That's between your relationship with you. Mulchi says compromise. Ooh. I agree with that. Mulchi also says my girlfriend and I always make each other look stupid and we find it pretty enjoyable. I think there's a limit here, okay? I'm talking about respect. I'm not talking about, you farting on your chick early in the morning or something like that. I'm not talking about, playful camaraderie and being flirty. I'm talking about, I'm at the bar, hanging out with my chick. There's a group of people playing pool behind us, and some guy goes, hey, I really like your chick's tits. And then she goes, ooh, thank you. Are you guys playing pool? Can I play next? Then I say to myself, what the fuck, bitch? You're supposed to be with me right now, and you're making it look like you might be single. Now you're making me look stupid. Because I'm sitting here making you look good, trying to do the whole power couple thing. Yeah, we go out together, we drink together, we have fun together. But you're over here kind of being like, well, am I single? Am I not? I don't know. Who knows, dude? And I feel like that's a big red flag. And it happens all the time. I see it happen to guys. In fact, I'm notorious for fucking making that shit happen. I'm the worst, guys. I'm the fucking worst. I mean, recently I've been pretty cool. But you guys have listened to my Twitch story, especially when I'm drinking, dude. I've had several chicks like, this is real. 2 separate chicks left their wedding rings in my car while cheating on their husbands. And I'm like, dude, I don't find that shit out till later. And I get a call like, I might have left my wedding ring in your car. Didn't want you to see it. I hid it in this little compartment. Oh, my God. Good for you, bitch. You promised this guy that you'd fucking be loyal to him forever, and this is what you're doing? Another great example of don't fucking make this guy look stupid. Right? Right. Oh, Beatsound Dollar says drop that hoe. Yeah, I agree with that shit too. I feel like, what is it, 7 billion people on Earth? I feel like anyone's get-overable. But then again, if you've really been into a chick and you get kind of like fucked with, I could see that you might need a couple of days to go mourn. So does anyone else have any relationship pillars? And I wanted to know what you guys think of mine. I don't want you guys to take me out of context. But I feel like that's something we can do to break it down into a really simple package that is pretty inclusive of all situations, right? I think. Even lying, right? We talked about honesty a little bit earlier. We talked about respect. We talked about communication. I feel like all that can sort of tie in with don't make me look stupid. If you lie to me about, hey, I got to go to work this day, but she's actually going on like a girls' night, maybe I don't publicly look stupid, but in the scope of our relationship, I look fucking stupid. You fucked up, bitch. Am I right? Doug Desatel says, happy wife, happy life. I think a lot of people say that. I think that applies both ways too, though, right? Happy husband, happy wife too. It's not my job to keep chicks happy all the time. Oh, I don't want to get too far into this, man. We're going to really get down a rabbit's hole here, and everyone's, Steve's a fucking douchebag to chicks. Mulchi says, she's always right. She owns you, and your opinion doesn't mean jack shit! R.I.P. headphone users. Especially the women in the chat right now. I think we agree, but if you're watching this on YouTube, I'd love to hear your opinion on this, because this is a really open-ended topic, and a lot of people can have different opinions. For example, we got... Goes both ways, got to compromise. Yeah, you know what? I talked a little bit about power couples. I love the idea. And I explained this to the chick that I'm dating the other day. I explained it to her. I said, you know what's cool about... what we have in common is we're both chronic alcoholics. We go out and get fucked up all the time. But what's cool about, I have a friend named Genesis. He's a skateboarder. He goes out, when him and his chick have the day off, they go out on a nice day. Maybe they pack a lunch, maybe a beer or something. I don't know what they do. But they go out, he skates a ledge. She holds the camera. She films him skateboard a little bit. They enjoy spending time together. She likes watching skateboarding, right? He's a skateboarder. He likes doing it. She can hold a camera. He can teach her how to film correctly. And then at the end of the month, he releases an Instagram part and gives his girlfriend film cred. That's amazing. I want that shit. That's beautiful. Does that not bring a tear to each and every one of your eyes right now? Is that not adorable? Power couple. They both strive to make each other better at something. And they both enjoy spending that time. My friend Abel, he opened a gym for obstacle training and Ninja Warrior and calisthenics and strength building and shit like that. His girl is a yoga teacher. She teaches yoga on the days that he's not in there coaching. They both are building this empire. The gym is called Axios Warrior Academy. They're both building this empire together. I'm not saying you have to work with your chick, but I'm saying, isn't that interesting that they have a little bit in common and they found a way to sort of bounce off each other? Because I'm sure a lot of them have the same clients. Maybe after a long day of powerlifting, someone needs to do some yoga to, loosen up their hip flexor, and maybe their back's really sore, so this yoga thing can help the strength thing, and they just build up this empire that's unbreakable. It's great. My friend David, Iceland Iceman, he goes out with his chick and his kid, his infant kid, who's like 1 or 2, and she films some skateboard. She's not as good a filmer as Genesis chick, but it's like, hey, let's get out the house. Let's go do something. We could go to a movie and stare at a screen and be silent, and then when it's all over, we can be fat from popcorn butter and say, did you like that movie? No, I didn't like that movie. Why do both of us have shitty voices? Because we're both fat from the fucking butter, you fat slob. Fuck you, Nance. Fuck you, Randy. And then they fight, domestic dispute. Both people are in jail. Woman gets out first. Yeah, that's that shit I don't like. Oh, man. So, again, I do want to hear your guys' thoughts on the relationship pillar. And maybe I left something out. Again, don't take me out of context. I hate this new theme on YouTube where it's like, hey, I'm just going to try really hard to correct Steve on everything. It happened twice last week. One kid tried to correct me during a ninja review. I said, oh, nice tray flip. And I got 2 comments that said, that wasn't a tray flip. It was a 540 flip. I thought to myself, maybe I'm wrong. I went back and looked at it. Lo and behold, it in fact was still a 360 flip. People go out of their way to try to correct me even when I'm correct. It happened again the other day. I think during either a setup video or something like that, I was talking about Kino, which is part of a Game King machine that I used to repair here in Las Vegas. For almost 2 years, I repaired these games nonstop. I programmed them. I took them completely apart. I installed them in bars across the entire city. And some kid tried to tell me that that's not how Kino works. You don't understand it. Oh, really? I've been playing Kino since I was fucking 13 years old. Back when we used to have Kino runners in restaurants. I'm sure you know more than me about Kino, though. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Internet knows all. I don't know anything. And it's just one of those things where everyone feels the need to correct everyone else. And you know what's a big pet peeve for me? I see it a lot online. These people do these things where it's usually on these gender debates. And somebody goes like, well, listen, I'm not saying men and women are not equal. And then someone goes, actually, we don't use the word men anymore. We don't say men or women. We just say people. And they go, yeah, but you didn't let me finish my point. I was actually making a really intelligent point. Excuse you. We don't use the word intelligent anymore because some people are born non-intelligent. So we don't use words like that, sir. I'm just trying to frame my topic that I'm trying to talk about. Sir, we don't use the word talk because some people are born without lips. And I'd appreciate it if you respected that, sir. Sir. And there's always this thing, like, I do it a lot, too, when it comes to people not knowing how to spell the word there and there. I go, But then again, I don't make it a point very often to go out of my way to leave a YouTube comment that explains the difference between your and there and there. And you know what's a really bad one? People misspell the word wear. Like, I'm wearing clothes, and they do W-H-E-R-E. Oh, my God, that makes me want to fucking kill myself. K-E-L, myself. Right when I read that shit, I can't fucking understand it. Anyways, moving on. We're going to do maybe one more topic here. Let's talk about El Toro. This is going to be a very skate-centered episode of Stop Crying Poser. Episode number 2. Isn't it, number 1, motivating, overwhelming, incredible, that we've had this skate spot called El Toro. We've had this skate spot for 20 years. It's a big handrail. It's 20 stairs. It's in California. A lot of great tricks have gone down it. And at some point, I think a lot of people said, you know what? Almost every trick's been done. What could they possibly do down this rail now? And then in the past 3 months, 4, maybe 5 new tricks have been done. It's been front feebled, front crooked, switch lip slid, nose blunted, nollie nose blunted. Did I leave one out? Why did I write crook? Why did I write the word crook? I'm so dumb. I may have left one of the tricks out, but isn't that exciting? That we can have a skate spot that we believe is untouchable. And still, year after year after year, skateboarding still gets better and better and better. And for that, I don't blame social media. For that, I don't blame advances in science and medical and shit like that. I just think skateboarders are getting better. I think that there's this weird thing with skateboarders that when they see something happen, it becomes like unlockable, right? For example, think about the 900. There was a time when people thought the 900 could never happen, right? And then we saw somebody get close. And then we saw someone land it. And then within a few years, now there's 5 or 6 people out there doing 900s. I think there's this weird mental block. And I think skateboarders have this special tool where they have the key to unlocking things that were previously thought to be impossible. And I think that's why skateboarders go on to do such interesting and creative things. You know, it's pretty rare to find a skateboarder who actually got good at skateboarding, who, aside from maybe getting addicted to drugs, who didn't go on to do something really, really cool just based off, number 1, creativity, but also drive and determination. Skateboarding is one of those things where you don't get good at it by accident. There's no shortcuts. You have to be on the skateboard doing tricks, trying tricks, falling, eating shit. You have to work to learn this sport. And when you instill that sort of thought process at a younger age and it carries on throughout your life, you learn to not take no for an answer, right? You learn to get around your roadblocks, right? You reach these speed bumps in life and you say, well, that really sucked, but we'll regroup, we'll hit the drawing board, and we'll try again. And there's so many people that just give up. And I feel like I was like that before skateboarding. I've told you guys, I tried to get on the elementary school basketball team. Guess what happened? I showed up for the very first practice. I had too much fun, apparently. That's how I fucking rationalize it. I had too much fun. And they were trying to be all serious about it, and I was over it. I said, fuck that. That's gay. I'm going to go watch pro wrestling. You guys suck. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. That was my advice for today's Instagram. And it kind of makes for an exciting future, right? We still have a lot of iconic skate spots left. You know, Carlsbad's gone. You know, another one dies every couple of days. But look at Hollywood. Some of the tricks that go down Hollywood are insane. Have you guys seen the laser flip? The guy laser flipped it like it was cheese. I don't know what to compare it to. He laser flipped it like it was an easy fucking trick. And some dude switch or fakey 180 crooked down it the other day. I mean, Nigel's 270 lip slides, also nuts. Everyone gives a bunch of props to kickflip back lip. I feel like kickflip back lip was going to be done eventually. It's a common trick, especially for that shape of rail. But back 270 into the lip slide, whew, that's not a rail that you would expect a trick like that to go down on. It's exciting. Not only in skateboarding, man. Maybe we can use this to motivate anything in our lives. Not everybody watching this is going to be a skateboarder. Not everyone's super interested in skateboarding. But if you can take that mind process, right? The idea of breaking down your goals into smaller parts, eventually putting them all together like a puzzle piece, and then achieving what many people thought was impossible, I feel like, number one, the world would be a better place. And number two, there'd be less people out there getting beat up at Walgreens with rocks because some guy doesn't like gays. That's going to be it today for episode number 2 of Stop Crying Poser. Let me shout everyone out one last time. Gen Life, Cassidy, Stillstream Genetic, Mulchi, Skater Chan, Doug Desatels is in the stream. By the way, Doug has a YouTube channel. Please check it out. YouTube.com/amskater. Also, YouTube.com/aDougsLife. We have Sharky Genie in the chat, Mark the Dude, and Justice for All, B-Town Dalla. I always appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope I did my job and entertained you guys for the last, 45 minutes or so. I think we're going to do this podcast live every Friday here on twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle. Don't worry, if you didn't catch it live or maybe you missed the first half of the podcast, this will be uploaded on Sunday, so you can watch it all. It will also be on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/stopcryingposer. The reason we upload the audio version on SoundCloud is because SoundCloud's pretty good. The online app, you can close it and still listen to this. So maybe you have a long drive to work, or maybe you're at school and your first period's boring as shit. You can listen to me ramble. And I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job of keeping this show more audio, less visual. I appreciate you guys being here. We try to keep it visual, but it's mainly audio that fuels this show's success. By the way, guys, I will be hanging out after the podcast, so if you guys want to shoot the shit for another 15-20 minutes, I will be here, so don't leave yet. The post show is always a little bit more interactive than the regular show because I'm so set on fucking getting my topics in and, again, trying to be entertaining. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys tune in. Feel free to share this podcast with a friend or two if you feel like they might enjoy it. I feel like what could be more enjoyable than this guy right here ranting about all the crazy things we ranted about today. Skating over 40, progression of skateboarding via social media, El Toro, relationship pillars, and cheese on your booty. Don't leave too much cheese on the booty, especially if you have a dog named Koopa. I will see you guys next time. Kuna Matata, bitches.